Call to order the Gurnee Village Board regular meeting of December by Trustee O'Brien. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. Aye. 5-0.
Motion carries. Pat?
Item number 1, approval of the minutes from the December 4th, 2023 Village Board meeting. Item number 2, approval of payroll for period ending December 1st, 2023 in the amount of $1,391,084.35. Item number 3, approval of bills for period ending December 18th, 2023 in the amount of $1,916,416.47.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Motion by Trustee Ross, second by Trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. 5-0.
Motion carries. On to petitions and communications. State Senator Mary Edley Allen sends her regrets. She's unable to make it tonight. On to the number 2, approval of proclamation designating January 2024 as Lake County Crime Stoppers Month in the Village of Gurnee. Crime Stoppers of Lake County, a nonprofit organization primarily funded by private donations, has been serving the Village of Gurnee and surrounding area by providing cash rewards for information leading to the solving of crimes. Through their actions and the work of local enforcement, this has led to nearly 7,000 arrests and convictions and the recovery of over $30.7 million worth of contraband and recovered stolen property since April 26, 1983. Now therefore I, Thomas Hood, Mayor of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim January 2024 as Lake County Crime Stoppers Month in the Village of Gurnee and encourage support for Crime Stoppers of Lake County. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Trustee O'Brien.
Second.
Second by Trustee Balmas. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
So I have just one thing quick on our petitions and communications. On January 8th, we have a meeting, and we're going to present the capital budget that night. If the board would be willing to come in at 6 p.m., kind of like we do with the budget hearing, and do that beforehand versus during the regular meeting, staff would be game for that. So I don't need an answer right now, but if everyone wants to take a look at their schedule and see if they're free January 8th at 6 p.m., and let me know this week, and then we can set that up. So, thank you.
Thanks. On to reports. A presentation by Finance Director Brian Gosnell, fiscal year 23-24, second quarter financial performance. Brian?
Thank you, Mayor. Included in the material was the second quarter report, so we're looking at the time period of May 1 through the end of October 2023. Looking at cash and investments, total of $45.1 million, 11% in checking, 56% money market, and 33% in investments. 72% of that's in the general fund, 12% in the capital improvement fund, and 11% in water and sewer. Looking at general fund specifically through the second quarter, brought in total revenues $26.7 million. That brings us to 54.4% of the budget. Total expenditures $23.8, puts us at 48.4% of budget. Leaves us with revenues over expenditures of $2.9 million at this point through the year. That will obviously change with seasonality and things like that. But looking at major revenues, these account for 58% of all general fund revenues. Have an annual budget of $28.3 million. So far, we brought in 15.4, right at 54.5%. The big stat here is versus the seasonally adjusted budget. So if you account for timing of sales tax and things like that, we're up 4.6% versus that budget. If you look, there is the dollar difference in the seasonally adjusted budget is about $681,000 to the good. So we're plus $681,000 versus the seasonally adjusted budget. That's a big part of what we're going to talk about a little later, capital contribution, surplus in the general fund, things like that. That's the revenue side of it. We also see the expenditure side by budgeting conservatively for personnel and things like that. But this is a big part of that. Looking at sales tax, annual budget just over $20 million. We're right at $10 million, so right at 50%. But again, if you adjust for seasonality, we're up 1.3% versus the seasonally adjusted budget. So positive here. If you remember the first quarter versus last year and versus the seasonally adjusted budget, we're both negative. I had made the comment that we saw that reverse trend in the second quarter, and we saw it through the end of the second quarter here. Amusement tax, annual budget, $3.5 million. We're at 2.7, 76.4%. Again, 10.3% or about $250,000 ahead of that seasonally adjusted budget. So very good performance in amusement tax. Food and beverage side, this one just seems to keep upward trend. Year over year, annual budget of $2.4 million, brought in $1.5 million so far, so 63.7 and almost 20% ahead of that seasonally adjusted budget, or about $250,000. So again, strong performance from food and beverage. On the hotel tax side, annual budget of $2.25 million, brought in 1.2 year to date. It puts us at 53.7% of budget, or 4.1% ahead of, again, adjusted for seasonality, about $47,000, $48,000 ahead of that. So all four major revenues doing good. One thing I wanted to talk about real quick, this is on page 10 of the report, was the what we refer to as general fund surplus or capital contribution. The audit is finalized. Right now, we're just waiting on finishing the formal report. Other than that, all the numbers are there. They won't change. We have an ending fund balance for fiscal year 23, so ending April 2023, of $30.6 million, just over 30.6, or about 75.2% of expenditures less transfers. If you recall, we updated the policy to have that in a range of 60 to 65. Anything over 65 we would look at for a capital contribution. So if you look at the right side of this chart, you see the green line is that 65% line, and then the red is the 60% line. Right bottom circle, red circle, shows you what we have in excess of that. I updated this just slightly from the chart that's on page 10. So you'll see, I think, a number about 3.6 there. As we get through the budget, I wanted to update that expenditure policy basis, so that came down just slightly. So it's just over $3 million, about $3.1 million in excess over that 65% mark, available for a capital contribution. Once we make that contribution of $3 million to capital, again, build that into the capital plan, part for transportation system, general capital type items, some of that for water and sewer. That brings the ending fund balance, or projected ending fund balance in 24, right in line with that 65%, actually 65.2%. So when we get to the capital plan discussion here slated for January 8th, we'll talk about how to use that $3 million. Looks right now like we'll have to use some of it still for the water system as we work on rates catching up, held rates flat for a while. Ideally, you want the water system to be self-sustaining, but we'll work towards that. And we have a big water project coming up that needs some of this money to get done. So talk more about that when we get to the capital plan on January 8th. But that's what the capital contribution is for fiscal year 23, to be used in fiscal year 25's capital plan. And then real quick, just talking about the 24-25 budget preparation, just where we're at schedule-wise. Late October, we opened up the software for departmental entry. By November 10th, departments met with IT, engineering, for any building-related items, public works fleet maintenance for any vehicles, things like that, to plan those out. November 17th, all those items were due in Munis, or in the financial software, so we could start to work with them. December 11th, met with the village administrator, went over all those requests, gets us to where we're at now from a capital standpoint of being able to present to the mayor and village board on January 8th. Also in there, we had a series of personnel meetings the week of December 15th with each department, met with them, went over authorized strength for next year, any requests and things like that. So next steps are the capital presentation on the 8th. Operating budgets are due shortly after that, so as soon as we get capital figured out, we go right to the operating budget side. The week of January 22nd, we have departmental meetings with each department to go over their operating budgets. Shortly after that, we start preparing the draft document. Then we meet with the village board one-on-one, get any input there, incorporate that input into the budget, and then come to the first budget workshop slated for that first meeting in March. Reserve the second meeting if we need a second workshop. If not, bring the public hearing and the budget approval to the first meeting in April. Again, saving the second meeting in April in case something goes wrong on the first meeting or in case we need it. And then the fiscal year begins May 1st. So that's kind of where we're at in the budget process. Everything's moving along smooth, so I don't anticipate any real hiccups yet. With that, happy to answer any questions.
To my right, any questions from the board? To my left? No, good job, Brian. Thank you. Very clear. So no old business.
Correct.
And on to new business. Item number 1, approval of ordinance 2023,
88.
amending the Village of Gurnee Personnel Policy Manual. Pat?
Sure. So I had a memo and a red line copy of the personnel policy manual from Christine. I think I mentioned this a couple meetings ago that we would be back before you for some tweaks needed for the paid leave for all workers legislation, as well as some other legislation that's taken place. So there are 6 amendments here. 5 of the 6 relate to changes in state law that we need to update in our personnel policy manual. The 6th change is just clarifying some vacation language, doesn't change the accrual schedule, but makes it more clear based on some past conversations we've had with some of the bargaining groups. The changes I can run through quick. The first one is the citizenship and work eligibility, so that reflects state legislation where non-citizens can apply for the position of police officer. There's still federal requirements that need to be met regardless of what action's been taken at the state level, so we'll see how that plays out. The vacation policy, I had just mentioned, that's just to clarify language, doesn't change any amounts handed down to the accrual schedule. Holiday and personal time, so that's the part-time paid leave for all workers, tweak we needed to make to prorate some time for part-timers to have off. Victims Economic Security and Safety Act, so again, some language in there that comes down from the state as far as circumstances where you could take off involving the death of a family or household member due to a crime of violence, funeral and funeral leave, again, result of state law, so just providing funeral leave for specific to the loss of a child. And then finally, Employee Blood and Organ Donation Leave Act. So again, you can get some time off if you're going to be an organ donor. So those are the 6 amendments. Again, it's redlined in here. It's pretty status quo. Have to do it thanks to the state of Illinois business.
Any questions to my right? To my left? Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Ross. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Woodside. Aye. Ross. 5-0.
Motion carries. On to item 2, approval of Public Works Department request to purchase a reconditioned pitless adapter for well number 2 from Water Well Solutions at a cost of $40,000. Pat?
So everybody knew prior to this memo what a pitless adapter was, right? No? All right, you're not the only one. I'm with you. So well 2 down at Heather Ridge, obviously an important part of our water system in case that we don't have supply from Jawa, our storage is down, our interconnect from Waukegan is down, so really it's like a third level of resiliency for our water system. So the pitless adapter, so that brings well water from the vertical pipe and then adapts it to the horizontal pipe that runs to the well house. So we, during a flushing session, earlier this year, noticed the area around the well was soaked with water, so there's a picture in there that I supplied. So they excavated that, the pitless adapter's below ground, found a half-inch hole in it, took the well out of service, was able to get the pitless adapter welded. That's really a temporary fix. The well's from 1974, so obviously there's parts in there that are coming up on 50 years old. This stuff doesn't last forever. So got that temporary weld in place, reached out to a couple different companies as far as getting the pitless adapter replaced. Pricing came in between basically $100,000 and $134,000 to get it replaced. So then we started looking at a plan B. Water Well Solutions actually has a reconditioned pitless adapter that would work in our circumstance. It's from a well that they decommissioned, so kept that on hand. They're willing to sell to us for $40,000. We think it makes sense based off of the supply chain and just kind of the uniqueness of this equipment. So staff is recommending to purchase this reconditioned pitless adapter, have it on hand, should or when we have another issue with the current pitless adapter, so we don't have to wait as far as getting the equipment. There'll still be a cost in the future to have that swapped out, but at least this gets us the piece that we need. So we've got that box checked. And there is appropriate funds in the budget to be able to secure this.
Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion by trustee Baumus, second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Baumus.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. 5 ayes.
Motion carries. On to item 3, approval of police department request to purchase 35 mobile ticketing printers with accessories and 5-year extended warranty from CDS Office Technologies at a cost of $36,992. Lake County Sheriff's Office formal bidding process, Lake County 911 consolidation project. Pat?
Sure. So I think the finance director is more excited than the police department about this. This is a conversation we've been having for a number of years, may have started when trustee Woodside was chief. So currently, when a police officer issues a ticket, it's all pencil and paper. So filling that out, handing you the ticket, they bring it back to the department, then the records folks have to manually enter that in, and then at some point, that stack is taken to the court system. So e-citation is something that we've been talking about for a while. There hasn't been a shared software platform, so really, if a department tried to move forward with e-citation, they wouldn't be able to transmit that information to the court system, so that really put a stop to the process. 911 consolidation comes about, so one of the systems that's being replaced as part of that process is the record management system, which e-citations is a subcomponent of. Lake County, you'll remember, bid out all the software packages, the county and then the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office is the entity that bid the records management system along with the e-citation. Again, when they bid the software packages, those that are participating in the 911 consolidation process are able to join on and secure the software at a fraction of the price versus having to go on our own. So there's economies of scale to that. In conjunction with e-citation software, the sheriff went through the formal bidding process as far as the equipment needed, including the mobile ticketing printers. So they went through that. The low bidder through that process was CDS Office Technologies. Our police department, we need 35 mobile ticketing printers with the accessories, and then comes with a 5-year extended warranty. So the cost on that is a mayor read, just under $37,000. This is something that was known, has been included in the budget. Should be decent time saver as far as officers out on the field, record management folks transmitting it electronically to the core system, and then also just takes the ability or the increase of human error out of the process. So when it's changing hands from one person to another, there's a chance that there may be some human error. Obviously, when that comes to somebody getting a ticket and then human error on top of that, doesn't bode well, so it should help reduce that as well. So something we're excited about. Again, everybody's finally getting on the same shared software platform and able to transmit that to the court system. So now is the time to secure the mobile ticketing printers.
Is there a motion?
So, second.
Motion by trustee Woodside, second by trustee O'Brien. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Baumus.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. 5 ayes.
Motion carries. On to item 4, approval of Information Systems Division request to purchase HPE server and storage hardware from SHI International Corp. At a cost of $173,332.62. State of Illinois Department of Innovation and Technology Contract CMT 3027420. Pat?
All right, so I'm really going to dumb this down, and Ryan Nelson, our assistant IT director, is here. If you want more detail, got a really detailed memo from Ryan on this. Basically, we have 8 servers that need replacement. We got 3 at Village Hall from 2016, 3 at the PD from 2015, and 2 at Public Works from 2013 that have been running 24/7, 365 since they were installed. Also looking to add an additional server related to our security video recordings. These servers we use for the server virtualization, so while there may only be 8 or 9 servers here, it's multiple virtual server environments across our operations. Money was included in the budget for this. Looked at who held the state contract, so it was SHI, which is a vendor we've worked with in the past, had good luck with them. So the IS department is recommending to get these 8 servers replaced and then add a 9th for our security camera system. Like I said, that's probably 100,000 foot overview. Ryan can give you the 10,000 foot. We don't want the 1,000 or 100. 10,000 is plenty. So if there's any questions.
Any questions to my right, to my left? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Balmas.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Woodside.
Aye.
Ross. 5 aye.
Motion carries. At this time, if there's anybody that would like to make a public comment, Dane, you can step up to the microphone and say something. There being none, I just would like to say that it's been a great year. I just appreciate all the hard work from the board and staff, that it's a memorable one. And I just pray that each of us have a happy new year and we all enjoy Christmas. So thanks again. And is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Ross. All in favor, say aye. 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 We're adjourned for 2023.